Okay, we'll do roll call. And you know what? Since Desire is now the secretary, you can do roll call.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. But if I pronounce your name bad, don't get mad at me. Okay, Eris Baker,
I'm here.
Rinda Betts,
Not here. We don't know.
Ada Hernandez,
She has an excused absent.
Ada Hernandez, okay.
Don Johnson,
Here?
Mike Corwin,
Here.
Harry Prent,
Here.
Peggy Chess,
Here.
Samia Arifra,
Not here.
Octavia Gerhard,
Who's Octavia?
Design Gijimana,
Oh,
You're not going to ask any of us to pronounce
Yeah,
your
It's a
name.
good thing you get to pronounce.
So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we have 2 absents, 1 excused member for the board for the day. So the next thing on the agenda is the approval of the October minutes. Did everyone get a chance to review those minutes?
I did on them.
Okay. Can we get a motion on the floor to accept the October minutes?
And
Okay, we
I'll
have a
second it.
motion. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Amen. I mean,
Those opposed? Motion carries, so the October minutes have been approved and for the board. So under the chairman report, the items we have is the introduction of the new CRB staff members.
okay.
And I see we have one of the members here tonight. Oh,
Two? Three?
Where's the
Yeah.
other one? No,
And our
Oh.
new Dana.
Yeah.
no, we don't, well, somebody's missing.
Yeah, our
Our
investigator.
investigators. Right.
yep. So we'd like to introduce our newest member to the CRB office. His name is Chris. Chris is going to be the new data analytic person who's going to be taking over the business. Chris, could you stand for a few minutes and just say a few things
Here's Mike.
right there?
Yeah.
Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to expanding the types of data that we collect to assist the operations here at the Citizens Review Board. And again, I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Being a part of us.
Thank you. Welcome. Yeah.
Okay. We also hired on the investigator, and his name is? Nicholas Keys. He's not here tonight. So that brings the CRB to a full staff now. So
Yes.
thanks to Anita.
Make an honorable
Good job.
mention.
Good job.
Okay. And then we also have 2 of the other staff members that are here, Adonia. And we have Julie, who is the executive secretary here tonight. So we want to thank you guys for
Yes, all
coming
of
out, to join out. Okay. The next thing on the agenda will be the CRB administrator report. Nalita?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So our monthly report for October is as follows. The CRB received a total of 22 cases this month. This included 12 cases from 2024, 10 cases from 2025. Correspondence were sent out to our closed and unfounded cases. 5 cases will be presented tonight for review during our executive board meeting. We also, during the community engagement specialist, Adonia has been active in the community, making connections to tabling to reintroduce the CRB while viewing video footage for cases files. And the key activities included attending the Focus and Peace community meeting on October the 1st, where she networked with organizations and organizational leaders and citizens. During this event, Adonia handed out brochure cards and flyers for upcoming events that were coming. As you all know, we just had the Monster Mash, which was a success. And she scheduled a presentation for the Center of Community Alternatives. She tabled at the Salt City Market on October the 8th, where she also handed out material for the CRB and also the information regarding the events and flyers and things that were going on that was coming up in the month of October. We also presented at the Center for Community Alternatives on October 27th. Adonia and I went there and we gave them information regarding the CRB. We distributed brochures and what to do if police stop you cards, followed by a question and answering session, which was very successful. And lastly, but not least, she did the Monster Mash, which included our board members, and we had children to come in from the community where they had games and they painted pumpkins and did all kind of fun sorts of things, which was a very success. Donald Johnson has been filling in for the positions throughout the month of October that were vacant. He also helped conduct interviews for the vacant data and investigator positions, and as he's already said, we have hired for them, and we are expected to be up and running fully by the end of this month. Don has also attended several external events, including 100 Black Men, October the 8th, the NAACP Get Out to Vote, October the 9th, the Salvation Army Award Luncheon, October the 18th, KJ Angels, the 3K Walk, October the 18th, and the Monster Mash. Julie, our secretary, has been extremely busy. She has maintained the office efficiently by ensuring cases has their correspondence in the mail, they were mailed out. She did intakes as well. Julie has met with 3 clients in person and has handled several inquiries by phone. She also created an accessible digital folders for the office to view videos and complete complaint forms. During interviews, Julie ensures that the hiring committee, during our interviews, she ensured that the hiring committee had all the necessary paperwork as far as a folder that was set before us with everything in it, with their resumes and the questions and things like that that we would be asking. She also made sure that the board members have gotten their teams invites. So for those that could not be in person, we did it online. And she also attended the Monster Mash, which was great, again, event. I'm going to keep mentioning that because I thought it was a really, really good event for us to be out in the community to show our face during Halloween. So we made it a whole different feel on it, okay? So our upcoming events is, we just recently, the meet and greet, which was November the 4th, which we will talk about next month, but it was a great meeting. A training session called Readiness is a Mindset, Not a Moment, and that's scheduled for November the 18th. And the office will continue to work on the caseloads. And we've already spoken, as you see lastly at the end, we've already spoken about our new hires. So if you see them out in the community, our new hires, please stop in to see them, to say hello, to welcome them aboard to the CRB. I am excited that we are fully staffed now and we'll be able to start functioning a little bit better, a little bit easier. Things are running a little bit better. I can't wait to see how things are all going to come together. That's my report.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
So the next item on the agenda is some old business items for discussion. One of the things that we need to do is that we need to get set up a training schedule for the board members. Right now, we're looking at November 18th, which is the following Saturday, from noon to 2. At that session, we'll be talking about the responsibilities for the board on case reviews and things of that nature. Also bringing everyone up to board to make sure that they have their tokens and able to get into the website to review the information that we load out there for case reviews. And that's about it. And then we also need to be looking at setting up some additional training with the Syracuse Police Department on some of the training items that they have coming up for the board members. One of the things that we want to make sure is that each and every last board member has an opportunity to get additional training within the police department, and also board training to understand exactly what your responsibility and roles are with the CRB board. With that, November 18th, I'm sorry, it's November 15th, I was listening to you. So it's November 15th for the training at the office, where we'll sit down and go over the procedure for the board. So, and if you can't make that date, we'll probably have a follow-up session, a review session for people who can't make it on the 15th, and that's going to be from noon to, Somebody's here. We have to update that. Okay. So we'll have to update the attendance list.
I was just going to mention, I won't be able to make that date.
Okay.
So you want me to just get back to you relative to setting up a time? I can come and meet with you?
We can do it that way. So if you can't make it to the event on the 15th at noon, just give me a call, and then we'll set up a time where we can meet in the office. I can do it one-on-one, or depending if the number of people have the same amount of time to attend the seminar, we can do it that way. But we definitely want to make sure that everyone sits in and gets educated on what the CRB's our goals and our objectives are. Okay. We need to set up an external advisory board. We had discussed that. I don't know if anyone had any opportunities to come up with any ideas on who should sit on that board, and when we should meet to establish that.
Remember, we were gonna do a lot of that in that meet and greet, in that meeting that we was gonna have, so.
Okay.
Maybe we still need to
Okay.
make sure that takes place, so we can discuss it a little bit, and that way we can all talk into it and put our input in it.
Okay. So Elise has made a suggestion that during those educational meetings, that we discuss the external advisory board on how we want to see how that's to be formed and who's going to be on that committee, and also look at some of the documentation that we're going to need to have that taken care of. So we'll do that on the 15th, and then any follow-ups we'll follow up with you on that also. So
Yeah, I just want to add something about the education materials. We need to think about the new American population when we are handing out the education materials, so they can be translated into other languages, because not everybody understands English.
Right.
So we need to think about that.
okay. That's interesting since you brought that up. Adonia, civil engagement person, and I had a discussion about that today.
Sure, thank you.
Because right now on the website, the only documents that we have out there is in English and Spanish. So we're going to run an analysis and see what's the next largest population in Syracuse, and then we'll convert that document to support those individuals and any other large groups that are out there. So we'll try to make sure that the new Americans have documents that they're able to fill out and read. So, okay. The next thing is anybody has anything from old business that they would like to bring up? If not, we're going to move into the committee reports. The first committee report is the outreach and public education. And I do apologize. What I need to do is to get a listing of all the members who are on each of the committees, and then I need to get an email out letting everyone know which committees they're on. So if you remember which committee that you sign up for, if you could send me an email.
That was one of the other things that was going to be in that we was going to work on, because most of the people that were on certain committees are no longer here, and the ones that it has to be reestablished and rebuilt based on their ideals and what they think should go. So that was the meet and greet and meeting that we had tried to set up.
Okay.
That stuff was supposed to be in there, remember?
Well, let's do it like this. As you look through the committees, and if there's a committee that you want to be on, if you can send me an email with your name on there, so then I can start formulating the committees and the committee members.
Yeah.
And if you can get that to me by next Monday, that'll be great. Okay?
So you're saying if you want to be a part of a certain
Committee.
just send that committee and their name to it, and that you would like to be a part of it.
That is correct. And you can sit on more than one committee.
Oh, I was about to ask
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, you can sit on more than one committee. Okay, so I think the only committee that we have that's fully functioning now is the Police Relations Committee. That's Mike Kern, Elise, Linda, and the administrator, Nolita, and Adonia. But out of the board, it's just Mike, Linda,
With the committee.
and Elise that are on that committee. Do you guys have a report?
Mike would have it.
Okay. Sorry, Mike, she threw you under the bus.
Not a problem, but that's correct. And Elise, Linda, and I were on it since we formed them the last time, and I've added Nolita and other staff members. So anyway, we had our meeting on the 6th of November at the police department. Just some topic, I reported to Chief Cecil, well, first things first. Chief Cecil will be leaving at the end of the year, so there's going to be a change up at the top. And the other thing is, I think First Deputy Chief Rich Schaff is leaving at the end of the year as well. I think he indicated that.
Yep, he did.
And so just to give you a flavor for that, once there's a change in City Hall, all those positions are employees at will. So they're all up. They could be asked to stay, those that are still there, but they may be asked, told their services are no longer needed. So even the folks that we met that want to stay, that's a decision that the mayor makes, the mayor's office makes. So,
Okay.
so that's what you're looking for. I do expect several of the people to stay, but I don't know how many or who will stay and what rank they will hold. So the mayor's going to fill the chief spot and the first deputy chief at the very least. Anyway, we had a terrific, I explained to them that we've had 3 different meetings in which we've reviewed cases with our director, the average of like 6 cases per meeting. So if that gets us up to 18, and I said, as a result of those 18 reviews, hypothetically, 17 of the cases, and we vote after each case, we've voted not to have a hearing on those 17 cases, and we voted to have a hearing in 1 case. And I referenced that case, and I think the hearings are coming up later. I think, working on it. What I did say, though, was that the body cam footage, at least in my opinion, 90% of the cases maybe, or maybe all the ones we voted against having a hearing were all really determined by the body cam footage. That was it. The allegations, a lot of them had to do with demeanor. Some had to do with allegations of not providing first aid, things like that. But nevertheless, I could not emphasize anymore how relevant the body cam footage is. And for the case that we are having a hearing, one of the issues for that case is the body cam footage was turned off. Okay. And that's why that is an ingredient to the hearing that we're going to have, among a couple other things. That then led us into probably a 10-minute discussion and explanation of the body cams themselves and how they work, and their protocol relative to within the department, which they just revised, of when you can turn the body cam off, under what situations that occur, and they gave us some hypotheticals. But by and large, plus one of the deputy chiefs gave us a presentation relative to these cameras are really similar to your computer at home, which if you hit a key, it pops back on, you get your screen back. The body cam is actually sleeping. It's not using up energy. All you do is tap it twice, and it actually, the camera itself, because it was resting, actually gives you 30 seconds of video from before you turned it on, and then proceeds on until it's turned off again. Which it sounds like somebody's taking a course in metaphysics, but it really does do that. It has that capability. The reason they go that route, the other thing is they're telling the officers that as soon as they are going on a call, to turn the camera on in the car, not wait till they get to there, something occurs, they have to jump out quickly. So they're all supposed to be turning it on as soon as they get the call. Boom, tap it twice and the camera's rolling. The only issue, technical issue that they talked in term was battery power. Because if the cameras are on for a lengthy period of time, I think, say the battery is good for maybe 8 hours?
I'm not sure of the hours
Yeah.
itself, the amount of hours, but they said it would.
So they're constantly looking for updates. It's just like the new EVs, electric vehicles. The biggest issue with those is battery power, battery duration, and the weight of the batteries on the cars. That's not the case here. It's just duration. Also referenced that the current state of the art of body cams. I don't think this department involves actually coming up and speaking to someone who is speaking a different language. Actually, they can activate a language translator on the body cam. So it's actually the person is speaking into the body cam, and then the body cam, you hit another button, the body cam is actually reading out what they just said. And then if the officer responds with an initial tap, the body cam is translating that to give it back to the person they're talking to. They don't have these body cams, but that's how, that's the progression that we're at this point in time, sophistication.
Did they mention any time when that's going to be taking place? Or,
No,
okay.
he was just talking, kind of what, like, talking about Star Wars type thing. It's in the
Okay.
future. I did post a question relative to the body cam footage to make sure that the body cam footage is foilable, just like a police report. And they explain that process. Same general overall process, at least in New York State, is if it's you order, when you foil a police report, the three answers are, here it is, or it's going to take us a couple of days to get it, or you can't have it because it's an ongoing investigation. Those are broad categories. In the case with a body camera, just like the police report, they actually have a redaction system. So you foil the body camera footage, it's available to you, you can have it, and then they put it in the system, and the system itself is blocking out faces and even license plates of cars going by that have nothing to do with the investigation. So the footage you're getting is redacted in that fashion. Anyway, I will submit a list of quarterly meetings for 2026 sometime in December. We don't have those meetings set. And I want to make sure that I wrote down a couple other things.
Trainings, remember?
Yeah, training. They're hot to trot on training us. And then the community meetings came up relative to other groups that they're meeting with, and we wanted to be included in those meetings as it relates to presenting CRB material.
Okay.
So there has to be a coordination between us and them for these community meetings, and then anything we want to train with.
Okay. Now, did they provide you with a training calendar?
No,
Okay.
we need to get back. The presentation, or the manner in which they spoke was fairly flexible. Give us, when do you want to do this?
Okay.
When do you want to do this? How we set up? You've got to give them plenty of advance notice. But they were quite agreeable to, hey, call. What? I'm sure, Nolita, they want you to call. Say, hey, we're looking at these dates. What can you do for us?
Okay.
We reached out already. Adonia reached out today with a few dates to Chief Russell, and we're just waiting to hear back so that we could actually get it set up.
The one thing I would like for you guys to do, if you can request a training calendar of all the training events for the Syracuse Police Department. So then that way, we can get that out to the board members, and each board members can decide when they're available to do those training.
Even, one of the deputy chiefs even said as far as, one of the topics was call responses, response times, people complaining the police aren't coming or they're coming hours later. And he said, hey, we can arrange a tour of 911, they'll explain to you their whole protocol. Is that what gets staggered, what gets held up, so you can go up there and see, because these officers are dispatched by 911.
Okay.
So, and, Elise made the point there, I mean, you're waiting for the police to come, and you look over, and there's 3 cars parked over here, but they have no idea you're waiting, because their calls are dispatched by the 911 system.
Okay. Now, that review with the 911 department, is that for the board is able to?
Yes.
Yep.
So we need to schedule a time that the board can do a visit to the 911 center so we can get some.
Well, we had the 911 representative come here before.
Right.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay, so that may
We
be
do
a decision, a choice.
Yep.
They would do
We
it,
said-
I'm sure 911 would give us a chance to tour it on their own. We wouldn't have to work through the police department.
Not so much as a tour, but the training on how the calls are done. They can come to us like before, to one of our, we can meet with them in some way, form, shape, so we all can have the same.
It's worth the trip to go up because it's an amazing setup, the way that the whole thing works. So if they would have us, that would, then you get the big picture of what's going on when they're fielding these calls.
And do you know how large the group can be for the 911?
We have to call and set it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, that'd be great. Okay. The only thing I want to piggyback on Mike, on the body cams, one of the things I've noticed about the body cams, there's always a 30 to 60-second delay on audio. Did they happen to touch on that, on why there's such a delay on the audio?
They didn't say anything about a delay. They did say that you can turn the audio off depending on the protocol. So we need to get a copy of their protocol. So, for example, if the video is there, but you're not hearing the conversation, it's because it might be several officers and a supervisor talking about the nature of the call, what they're going to do, and who's doing what, which is all administrative.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't accurate, but if it's not, if the audio is not on, it may not be that somebody forgot to turn it on. It may be that they deliberately turned it off, given these administrative settings.
Okay.
But one of the things he said, because about the 30-second delay that you're talking about, and watching the videos, it's a delay. He said that the videos can pick up from that point. It's a 30-second, even though it's a 30-second delay, it can
Okay.
go back 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
We may not see it or hear it, but it can go back if you have to foil it or go back and get the information that's in there.
Okay.
That's-
So, and I take it in the police report, the documentation would have that verbiage or not?
I don't think it says that. I think it's,
It's not. What he said is it's a buffer. So it's
Right.
that 30-second delay where it is recording, but there is no audio. It's buffering.
Yes.
And it goes back from that time. It goes back 30 seconds.
Yes.
And then you still see everything, but you don't hear anything.
Right.
Until the 30 seconds is up, and it's the buffering from the video itself.
if I was sitting in my car, Don, they dispatched the call, I tapped my thing, it went on. You're watching the video, but you're not hearing anything.
Right.
Because it's gone back 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Oh,
Then it
okay.
kicks in after 30 seconds.
Okay. Oh, one of the things I want to thank the board for is that we now have evidence.com. So we're able to log into the police system in live time and download videos instead of having to request the videos from the SPD. So good job from the board to make that happen. So,
Thank
okay. Any other committees?
I don't know if I'm going to formulate it anymore.
Okay.
There's the Committee on Hearings, which I think I volunteered for.
I did too.
So I know I'm on it, but I don't think anybody else is still here that was on it.
Oh,
So
well,
Lisa's on there.
You were?
And
Yeah.
Linda was too,
I didn't
think.
know that. Why,
Yeah.
why are you following me?
I ain't following you. I said I wanted to be on
All
it.
right,
You know
all
you
right.
come every place I go, Mike.
Just a very simple question. Why are you
We're going to redact that information.
following me? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I better shut up.
That sort of closes out our presentation. So we're open for citizens' questions and statements. 5 minutes per person.
Excuse me, before you,
Oh,
let me ask you a question about the presentation that you were supposed to talk to the guy with today?
Oh, I didn't get
Oh,
around to that.
okay,
So,
okay,
but we'll do that in closed session.
okay.
So, okay.
Hi, Barry Gawanter. I live on Ryder Avenue. Couple of things. One, please talk into the mic rather than hanging back. I've got a slight hearing loss, and part of what people said was mumble, 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 mumble.
Okay.
So please use the microphones. The administrator, you said something about a training in readiness as a mindset, and I really didn't get what that was or whether that was a board training or not. So I just love some more info about that. As far as language translation, Desire, that was a great statement. You're actually required by New York State regs and by Title VI of the Civil Rights Act federally to have things available in the languages that people utilize every single day. We have 80 languages in the school district. We have a huge refugee community. For finding out the top languages, contact the County Office of Social Services because they maintain that list. Also, I would ask you to make sure that any translation or interpretation you get is with a qualified interpreter, because it's not just that you have to provide interpretation, but it has to be by somebody qualified in the terminology, in the language, in the dialect, in the gender dynamics in some cultures. And that's one of the reasons I'm concerned about a body cam interpreting for an officer. I was involved with the police in creating a system and a policy about providing interpretation. And I happen to know a lot about this because I was Title VI and ADA coordinator for the county. And a body cam is not necessarily going to provide you with a qualified interpretation of what's being said. So there may be some legitimate civil rights concerns about that. There is a Title VI coordinator and ADA coordinator for the city as well as for the county. So you may want to reach out to the Title VI coordinator, and having that relationship would be good. I'm hoping that in part of the training that you're getting from the police, they're going to train you in how to look at a police-resident encounter, because it's a very unique way of looking at things. You have to look at it moment by moment from the point of view of the police officer, primarily to see if it's within policy and procedure or not. And that's not a natural way of looking at things. So I would suggest that you make sure that that's one of the things that you're trained in. I'm hoping that you're urging the mayor-elect when she chooses a new chief to replace Chief Cecil, that you urge her to pick a chief who is ready and willing to cooperate with the CRB from day one. Appointing a chief who has resistance to that, I don't think is in the interest of any of the residents of our city, especially during these troubled times. So I think you have a voice, and I urge you to express that voice
Absolutely.
to the mayor-elect. I'm also looking to find out whether you have a plan to reappoint or replace the 2 board members whose terms expire on December 25th. I looked at the terms on your website, and it looks like there's 2. Lastly, if you discuss the advisory board, what its charge is, who may be appointed, I believe that that's a matter for public meeting, not something that you should be discussing at a training that is not open to the public. And frankly, that's something that I would like to be able to witness your discussion about that in a public meeting. So I would ask you to check with the Corporation Council about that.
Okay. Well, one of the things is that we're not actually discussing the setup. We're just discussing what's the word I'm looking for? Whether or not the board is, whether or not an advisory board is needed.
I think that's a matter for public discussion rather than private, in my opinion.
Barry, my recollection is that we did discuss it publicly and we voted to have it. We actually took a vote. So we voted in public to agree to establish the board. So at least that step was done publicly.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Well, all I can do is express my opinion
Right.
and ask you to consider it. And thank you.
Yep, and we will definitely check with corporate counsel to make sure that we're following the rules and regulation to the end, so. Okay, any other business? Any other statements? If not, we need to have a motion to go into executive session.
I make that motion?
Well, motion been made for the board to go into executive session. Is there a second? It's been moved and second that the board goes into executive session. The second was by Peggy Chase. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, let's take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes carry. Meeting is postponed until we come out of executive session.
Do we have a room on this floor, Don?
I don't know, Carter, yeah, we do. Okay, great.
Perfect.